Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another matchday DVD here at Craven Park. Round 11 of Super League 14 sees the visit of Catalan Dragons to Hull Kr Rovers. A crucial game for both sides. A resurgent Catalan Dragons after a very slow start to their season, picking up some good wins in recent weeks. And of course, as Mike's always saying to us, it's all about the Rovers today. It's time for them to back up after a great win last week against Harlequins down at the Stoop, meaning that they are the only Hull team to win in London or at Wembley. Our nearest and dearest not having one single victory down in London. So today it is, in Mike's favourite expression, it's all about Rovers. The question is, can they put this resurgent Catalan Dragons side to the sword? I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, you're left with my dulcet tones for the next 80 minutes as Mike's otherwise engaged. We're missing the big man up here, especially as today's referee is one of Mike's favourite refs, Ian Smith. Big friends Mike and Ian Smith, big mates. Anyway, let's get down to business. Today's teams: Catalan Dragons, there's at number 1, the very dangerous Clint Green Shields. Number 18 on the wing for them is Vincent Duport. The centres are Stephen Bell and Jean-Philippe Bale. The other winger, Dimitri Pelot. In the standoff position, there's Gregory Muniz. Scrum half, Shane Perry. Prop, David Ferriol. Hooker, Casey Maguire. At the other prop position, there's Jerome Guisset. The two second rows are Oliver Elima and Dane Carlo. And at loose forward, the name that we've got on the team sheet, although I'm not sure it's right, is Cyril Gossard. The subs are Remy Casti, Kane Bentley, Julian Tuxigas and Jamel Fakir. Hull Kr Rovers side for today's match: at fullback, Sean Briscoe. Winger, Peter Fox. Two centres, Jake Webster and Chrissy Wellham. The other winger, Liam Colburn. Standoff is Paul Cook. Scrum half, Michael Dobson. The two props, Scott Wheeldon and Mick Vella. The returning club captain Mick Vella, first start since his injury. I know he played last week against Harlequins, but he came on as sub. So his first game starting match back here is at Craven Park against Catalan Dragons. The club captain Mick Vella, very welcome sight to see him back in a Rovers shirt. Two second rows, Clint Ewan and Ben Galea. Loose forward, Scott Morrell. And the substitutes today are Daniel Fitzhenry, David Mills, Michele Azui and Jason Netherton. And a quick shout out now for the mascots today. Very proud they are too. We've got Isabel Sargison, who's age 12, who goes to Mount Lambert School. Her favourite player is Chrissy Wellham. She loves and likes street dance, and she dislikes Hull FC. So a very well brought up child there. The other mascot is younger brother Elliot Sargison, who's age 7, goes to Cavendish Primary School. His favourite player is Sean Briscoe, and he loves and likes playing football for Victoria Dock, and he also dislikes Hull FC. Amen to that. So as the teams, Catalans have taken the field, out come Hull Kr Rovers to a great reception here from the crowd. A good crowd here at Craven Park. Mick Vella back in his usual position, leading the team out with the mascots. Great reception from the east stand and the west stand. Just prior to kick-off, Rufus was running around the west stand and in the seating and squirting people with his water gun, trying to cool people down because it is a relatively warm day here at Craven Park. The sun is out. If it wasn't for the wind, it'd be exceedingly warm. Rufus still in position in the west stand over here, on the Roger Millward stand with his water gun. So Michael Dobson it is to kick off this match here at Craven Park. As I say, it's round 11 of Super League 14. And let's just hope that Hull Kr Rovers can continue where they left off last week against Harlequins. A great win down there at the Stoop. As I say, they're going to have the work cut out against the resurgent Catalan Dragons side, who, although they're lacking Adam Mogg and Bosk and Greg Baird. They're still a very dangerous side. Still got the likes of Clint Greenshields, Dimitri Pello, Casey Maguire, Jerome Geesey in that side. So Rovers going to have to concentrate for the full 80 minutes, do the simple things well. Rovers obviously they're lacking a couple, with Nick Fozzard out for a while. Rhys Lovegrove also out with injury, although I was talking to him just before the match and he was optimistic that he might be back sooner in the Rovers shirt than what was previously thought. But we'll wait and see. He goes in for a minor op to have a look and make sure there's no other damage. It's a decent kick there from Catalan Dragons, pushing Rovers back to their own 10-metre line. It'll be a scrum on the Rovers 10. A decent start from Catalans, getting a bit of territory, but a good defensive set of 6 from Rovers. Good kick though, went over the head of Peter Fox, the informed Peter Fox, who is joint top of the try-scoring charts in Super League this year. Great drive there. Is it more or less the Rovers 20-metre line? Great drive from Peter Fox. Straight into the action. Catalans trying to get 3-4 men in the tackle to stop Mick Vella there. Great break from Fisher. Good little dart there. Ball comes out to Clint Newton. Clint Newton making his mandatory 7-8 yards there, gets it more or less to the halfway line. Rovers starting with purpose here. Scott Wheeldon drives that ball in, met in a 3-man Catalans tackle there. 5th tackle coming up. Fisher at dummy half gives it to Scott Morrell, who dinks it over the top. Oh, Clint Greenshields fumbles it, but I think he gets away with it, went backwards. Yeah, much to the disgust of the East Stand and the West Stand, I've got to admit, I think Ian Smith got that right. Clint Greenshields fumbled it. Did go backwards though, but Rovers here keeping Catalans down in their own 10 so far. Good tackle there by Scott Morrell and Scott Wheeldon. Catalans just trying to get some yardage, but being met by a Rovers wall so far. Don't want to say too much because every time I say such things, Rovers get caught out. Good tackle from Scott Wheeldon, stood up to it well, joined in by Michael Dobson and Jake Webster. Ball goes out, and it's a fluff kick. Ian Smith says, sorry, Oliver Lima, you were offside there, sunshine. It was a strange kick from Shane Perry. He was under pressure, he kind of kicked it. Didn't go very far, and Oliver Lima thought, oh, I can pick that up, but he was way offside, way in front of the kicker. Ian Smith spots it, says, no, that's a penalty to Hull Kingston Rovers. Good little kick in, but good little penalty from Cook. And the ball is now played, taken in by Scott Wheeldon. Fisher then takes the ball out to Bengalia. Bengalia takes a tackle on the 20, just inside the red zone now for Hull Kingston Rovers. Paul Cook spins the ball out to I think it was Briscoe, it might have been Dobson. Bengalia now plays the ball to Dobson. Great ball to Scott Wheeldon. Scott Wheeldon, oh, he's inching his way. Is he there? He's just been held up. I think it was actually the goalpost that stopped Scott Wheeldon from going over there. And it's a penalty to Hull Kingston Rovers. All started with a good ball through from Paul Cook to Briscoe. Quick play of the ball, and Scott Wheeldon nearly scoring there. I don't think it was so much the Catalan players tackling him. I think it was the goalpost that stopped him from squeezing over that try line. As it stands, it's a penalty to Hull Kingston Rovers. Mick Vella with a steadier. Fisher out to Bengalia. Spots a half gap. Takes 3 men with him to bring him down. Fisher then looking around, seeing what's on. Gives the ball out to Dobson, who in turn gives it to Scott Morrell. Scott Morrell half break, still on the break, out to Jay Webster, and it's a good try from Liam Colburn. Great play from Hull Kingston Rovers. Scott Wheeldon having just been stopped by the goalpost. Rovers get the penalty and maximise their chances. Some great play. Scott Morrell seeing a half gap, goes through it. Gets stopped, manages to keep the ball alive. Ball goes out to Jake Webster. Jake Webster unselfishly gives the ball to Liam Colburn, who says thank you very much, and goes in at the corner. A great start here from Hull Kr V Rovers. So Liam Colburn off the mark in today's game. A good score in the corner. Michael Dobson now with a very difficult conversion attempt, literally right on the touchline. Must be all of, well, 6 inches in from the touchline itself, about 20 metres out. I'll soon tell you if it goes over. Wonder if there'll be any fun and games like there was in last night's Sky match. One linesman putting his flag up, one linesman keeping it down. Let's see. Dobson. Oh, what a great kick from Dobson. Great kick from Dobson. What a great conversion. Just managed to have the legs to go over the crossbar there. So the scoreline here after 5-6 minutes of play is Hull Kr V Rovers 6, Catalan Dragons 0. And it's a strong start from Hull Kr V Rovers. Just what we needed, really. Capitalising on where they left off last week against Harlequins down at the Stoop. Say it was a bizarre game last night. One linesman putting his flag up, the other one not, but no doubt about that one. Straight through the post, over the crossbar. Great conversion from Michael Dobson. The Rovers now get this ball, and we've got another set of 6, obviously. Mick Vella tries that ball in, makes another couple of little bits of yardage there. Fishing out, gets the ball, gives it on. And it's a great drive there. Liam Colburn bringing that ball away. Clint Newen in on the ball at pace and gets it over the halfway line. There was a little bit around the chops there perhaps, but Ian Smith sees nothing in it. Rovers just get on with it. Ben Galea now received the ball standing still a little bit, unfortunately. But Rovers still pressurising. Good kick from Michael Dobson right along the line. Is it going to go dead? I think it has done. Clint Greenshields couldn't do anything about that kick, and it was a good kick from Rovers, pinning this Catalan Dragons side back in their own 10-metre line. A scrum to come. As I say, Catalan Dragons lacking a couple of their main players this week. One of the players that I rate highly, Bosk, he's out injured. Controversial signing Greg Baird is also out. Adam Mogg is not playing. So I suppose they could use it as an excuse, but Rovers are also lacking players. Chev Walker on the long-term injury list. As I said, Nick Fozzard also out. Reese Lovegrove also out. So at that stage of the season where all sides, I think, have quite a few injuries and things to carry. And it's a good drive there from my Catalans. Number 10 there, Jerome Greasy, bringing that ball. And it's a big kick with a following wind. It might just go dead, that one now. Yeah, it goes dead. It was a huge kick there. I think it was Casey Maguire with the kick. Got a bit too much on it, especially with this wind. It's a lovely sunny day, but it's fairly windy. It's blowing straight from the Humber, straight down the ground, and that was obviously caught in the wind. Good run there by Peter Fox. Gets it to the 32-metre line. Chris Willem now coming in for wanting a bit of work. Great run by Peter Fox. Liam Colburn also coming in, wanting some work, take the pressure off the forwards. Rovers now just on the brink of the halfway line. Scott Wheeldon drives that ball in, met in a 3-man Catalans tackle there. Rovers making some good yardage here at the moment. Mick Vella takes the ball in. Should be the 5th tackle, I think. Yeah, Ian Smith says that's the 5th tackle. Interesting to see what Rovers do. They go down the blind side. Another little kick through from Michael Dobson. It stood up. Clint Greenshields, all he can do is smother it. Did well to smother it. Catalan's a little bit at 6s and 7s at the moment, but I think I feel is from the pressure from Hull Kr V Rovers, who have started this game very strongly. Catalan's not like their usual play, because usually they're big, strong, and they stick it in the forwards, and they usually get easy yardage up the middle, but they're struggling today a little bit in this opening 10 minutes. Rovers standing up to the pressure well, tackling well so far. I say so far because every time I extol the virtues of the Rovers defence, something goes wrong. Another big kick that's been caught with the wind. Liam Colburn collects the ball. It's a decent chase from Catalans. And Shane Perry, who was the kicker there, good chase. Gets Liam Colburn down on the 21-22 metre line. Sean Briscoe gets the ball now, gets 6, 7, 8 yards there. Cookie gives the ball out, but fortunately Colburn couldn't collect it. Cookie saying, sorry Liam, want the greatest pass, and he wasn't, unfortunately. Good idea, because if he'd have gone in Liam Colburn's breadbasket, he would have been away down the wing. Bit unfortunate there, but that's what we like to see from Rovers. I'm not going to knock Cookie for trying that. It was enterprising play. So, Catalans with the scrum, fed in there by Shane Perry. Casey Maguire feeds that ball out again to number 14, Dane Carlo. Jerome Keesey takes some stopping, but he's met. And he's bounced backwards there. Great tackle from Fisher. And another good tackle from Fisher. Getting some work so far is the Fish. Oh, and it's a poor play the ball. Ian Smith spotting an infringement at the play the ball. Ian Smith so far making friends with the East stand. Managing to catch Catalans there with a poor play the ball. Michael Dobson then feeds the Rovers scrum, gives it out. Jake Webster drives that ball in. Again met in a 3-man Catalans Dragons tackle, but he still makes it to the 20. And Peter Fox takes it in, manages to get 6-7 yards. Briscoe nearly breaking free. He was a bit grappled around the chops there, but Ian Smith says nothing wrong with that. Rovers just get on with it. A good little break there from from Briscoe. And another high shot there, and Clint Newton. Ian Smith again saying, no, just play it. 5th tackle. Cookie gives the ball to Scott Morrell, who drills it along the ground because of this wind, straight into touch. More or less on the 12-metre line there. So Catalan Dragons will have a scrum on their 12-metre line. Some good solid play from Hull Kr V Rovers, and the kicking has been pretty intelligent. It's been along the ground to the corners, pinning this big Catalan Dragons pack backwards. Now some intelligent play, because it is quite a wind that's blowing off the Humber and straight down the ground. Obviously second half, hopefully Rovers will have the benefit of that wind in their favour. In the meantime now, Catalans trying to drive this ball back. As I say, it's a very big pack, but Rovers seem to be up to the challenge so far. Jerome Keesey there driving the ball in, just managing to get more or less to the 30-metre line. David Ferriol met solidly by Scott Wielden. Ian Smith so far is having a decent match in my opinion. Realised that there was nowhere for Scott Morrell to roll to. David Ferriol played for the penalty there, lost the ball, tried to make it look as though it had been raked out or that the Rovers player was in the way. And Ian Smith says, nah, sorry sunshine, you should have just got up and played the ball properly. So Rovers with an attacking scrum. Ball goes out to Jake Webster, who drives it in, gets it to the 30-metre line. Ben Fisher gives it to Clint Newton, who drives it straight in there. Fisher again at dummy half. Out to Dobson, out to Cook. This is a good play from Rovers. Briscoe coming in on the diagonal, spots a half gap, gets it through into the Catalans 20. And Rovers again in that red zone. Dobson just takes a steadier. Just 11 metres out from this Catalan Dragons try line. Fisher gives it to Vela, to Cook, to Scott Morrell, who's seen the gap. Scott Morrell will score. What a great try from Hull Kr V Rovers. Great vision. Nick Vella giving that ball to Paul Cook, who saw that Scott Morrell was running on the diagonal at speed. Scott Morrell goes straight through what was frankly a non-existent defence there really, but you got to give credit to Rovers and Scott Morrell there. Great run, great score, good try. The only down point is Jake Webster seems to have a little problem with his wrist there, but physio seems to have sorted him out. So Dobson with what should be an easier conversion, but as I say, with this wind blowing straight in off the Caravan site at the back, nothing is easy. Kicking that way towards the scoreboard end. A great try from Rovers. Just what they deserved. They've been the dominant force so far. Just wait to see if Michael Dobson gets his conversion over. Another great conversion from Michael Dobson. No doubt about that. An extra 2 points. So the scoreline here at Craven Park is Hull Kr Rovers 12, the Catalan Dragons 0, with 20 minutes, well, just coming up to 20 minutes gone. Just hoping the voice holds for the full 80 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Seems though you have got my dulcet tone for the full 80. My co-commentator and colleague, Big Mike Sexton, unfortunately is detained on other duties today. We're missing you, big man. That's going to go out in the full, and it has. So, Catalans, bit 6s and 7s. Another mistake there. I think the kick-off got caught by the wind there and went straight out on the full, so it's a penalty. So Hull Kr Rovers on the halfway line. And it seems to be all going Rovers' way so far. Although, let's not get too carried away. Paul Cook with a decent touch finder there. So big shout out to the East Stand, you know who you are. Our friends and people in the East Stand, big shout out to you. As Mick Villa takes that ball in, Ben Fisher now looking busy. Offloads that to Ben Galea, who takes it in as a steady, gets inside the red zone, inside that 20. Fisher dummies it, looking for, oh, that's a high one! Oh dear. Come on, Mr. Smith, you might just have to have a word there. David Ferriol with a very high swinging arm there. A very poor challenge, and Ben Fisher's lucky to have his head still on his shoulders there. Terrible challenge. Rovers then take the tap, take the penalty. Scott Wheeldon takes it in, makes it to the 5 minute, just 5 yards from this Catalans try line, and straight in, Bengalia. And it's no more than Rovers deserve. A great start to this first half so far for Hull Kr Rovers. Bengalia just waltzes his way through to the try line. Good steady from Scott Wheeldon, quickly taken penalty tap. Bengalia there on the angle, comes through. So again, some poor tackling, it's got to be said from Catalans, but credit Rovers. They're making the opportunities and they're taking the opportunities here today so far. Great try. So Michael Dobson now with another conversion attempt on the other side of the pitch. East Stand rising to this good performance so far from their heroes. Could say that Catalan Dragons could do to wake up, but we hope to stay sleepy. Let the Rovers run riot. Good try there from Bengalia. And the conversion attempt is good from Michael Dobson. So Rovers, 21-22 minutes gone here at Craven Park. Hull Kr Rovers 18, Catalan Dragons 0, zip, 0, nada. And so far it has been all Rovers, but you can't write this Catalan Dragons side off. You've got to remember what they did to Bradford Bulls in the Challenge Cup, where they were, was it 26 points to 0 down, and they came back and beat the Bulls. So you can never write them off. They're a good side of Catalans, and they've been finding some form recently, but Rovers are having none of it. Saying, whatever you can do, we can do a lot better. Scott Wheeldon plays the ball quickly. Jake Webster takes a quick steadier in. Ben Fisher now looking for Mick Vella. It's good to see Mick Vella back in that Rovers shirt, starting first match after injury today. Takes it in. Ben Fisher spots a little gap. Well, those markers not square or offside. Ian Smith says not. Scott Morrell with a great kick. That could be a 40-20, I think it is. What a great kick from Scott Morrell. This should be a Rovers penalty. It is. Ian Smith says yes. 40-20. Great kick from Scott Morrell. Bear in mind the wind that is blowing from the scoreboard end. That was a great kick. Scott Morrell with his kicking boots on today, and I've got to say the Rovers kicking game today has been spread quite nicely between Paul Cook, Michael Dobson and Scott Morrell. Some intelligent kicking, and Rovers again attacking scrum inside that 20-metre line, just 20 metres from the Catalan Dragons try line. Ball goes out to Cook, who gives it on the run around to Bengalia, who drives it in, gets another 5-6 yards there on the drive, does Bengalia. Fisher then gives it to Chris Wellham. Chris Wellham thirsty for the work, drives it in just 5 metres short. Ben Fisher then gives the ball to Michael Dobson. Oh, it's intercepted, and it's a great interception. Is he going to go all the way? Briscoe's come across. Ben Fisher making up for the pass. Good tackle there. Number 13, Gregory Muniz, trying to go the full length, but it's some good tackling, some good scramble defence here from Rovers. Great tackle from Jake Webster. Number 16, Oliver Lima, just drives it in, and it's the first time really Catalans have been in the Rovers half for quite some time. Casey Maguire gives the ball on to David Ferriol, who's met by a Rovers wall. The Rovers defence back in numbers now. But this is good stuff. Clint Greenshields is going to be away. It's Clint Greenshields. Great try from Clint Greenshields. As I was saying, you never write this Catalan Dragons side off. All stemming from, well, it was a little bit of a telegraph pass from Michael Dobson. And Gregory Muniz took off and made it to the halfway line, brought down by Briscoe. A couple of quick plays later, and Clint Greenshields goes over for a good try for Catalan Dragons. It's got to be said, it's about the only time they've been in the Rovers half, really. But it was well taken from Clint Greenshields. There was men over, he dummied it and took it straight in, more or less to under the post. As I say, Catalans lacking the likes of Bosk and controversial signing Greg Baird, but they've still got plenty in this side, and Rovers are going to have to be 100% concentration. Rovers having got the 40-20 and were pushing for the try. It was a good attempt from Michael Dobson to get the ball through. Fortunately, it was a little bit telegraphed. Gregory Muniz positioned himself very, very well. Got to give him credit, and he took the ball very gratefully. And Catalans turning defence into attack very, very quickly. Rovers just caught short on the far side. So now we just wait to see if he gets the conversion here. Gregory Muniz takes it, gets the conversion. So the scoreline here at Craven Park. Hull Kr Rovers 18, Catalan Dragons 6. In many ways it might do Rovers a favour just to say to Rovers, look, you've had it all your own way for 20 minutes, but game of rugby league is a full 80 and you can't write Catalan Dragons off. As I say, memory's still fresh of how Catalans came back into the Challenge Cup match against Bradford Bulls. Rufus sort of keeping the North Stand happy there, having spent first part of the game up here in the West Stand, in the Roger Millward stand, with his water gun, squirting people in the back of the head. Good tackle there from Clint Newton and Jake Webster. Another good tackle there, three-man Rovers tackle. Scott Morrell and Scott Wilden in there. Number 16, Oliver Lever there, bringing the ball in. Catalans just starting to find their feet a little bit, trying to bring the ball away. Jean-Philippe Bale, who seems to have been a good addition to this Catalan Dragons side. Missed tackle from Scott Morrell there, but Jason Netherton, who's come on, says, no, sorry, you can't go anywhere there, Shane Perry. And it's another big kick, straight into Liam Colburn's breadbasket there. Liam Colburn looking, don't pass it, that's it. Oh, I thought for a second there that Liam Colburn was going to give a hospital pass to Sean Briscoe, who was saying, no, please don't pass to me, because I'm going to get my head taken off. Sean Briscoe steps in, brings the ball away, a little bit of a grapple tackle perhaps, but Ian Smith says no, and the Fox is away, gives the ball on to Michael Dobson. Michael Dobson pins his ears back, does the right thing, takes the challenge. Great break from Peter Fox. Rovers now in the attacking third. Oh, it's just not, well, a bit unfortunate, the pass went to ground, Jake Webster couldn't take it, Oliver Lima could. Catalan's getting the advantage, they're not pulled back for the knock-on, not pulled back to the scrum, because Oliver Lima made it over the advantage line. Some good tackling there, great round the legs from Scott Wheeldon, bringing Dimitri Pello down, and it's another big kick, and that's going to go out. So it'll be a scrum on the Rovers 10. With a put into Catalan Dragons, because it was a 40-20. Good kick. And Catalan's just starting to get their act together. Rovers are going to have to concentrate here. Coming up to the 29th minute. Catalans with an attacking scrum in their favour. Just 10 metres out from the Rovers try line. A good kick. Gone through there by, I think it was Casey Maguire. Shane Perry feeds the ball in. Catalan's trying to spin that ball out. Remy Casti, who's on the pitch now, drives that ball in, just short of the Rovers try line. David Ferriol metting a strong challenge from Scott Morrell and Ben Galea. Casey Maguire at dummy half gives the ball out to Shane Perry, who couldn't collect it. But Rovers are going to have to get him down. Come on. That's it, Michael Dobson gets hold of his opposite number, says, come here and I'll scrag you down. Casey Maguire then gives the ball to Remy Casti, who takes a steadier. Ben Fisher in the tackle there. Casey Maguire again gives the ball out, and it's a good little kick through, but it should go dead. Shane Briscoe on the mark, sees it dead, does the sensible thing, and perhaps a wasted opportunity there from Catalan Dragons. I think they were just trying to force the ball there. From the tap there, they were all offside, but Ian Smith says, nah, it's all right, Rovers managed to make 10 yards, so we'll let them off. Chrissy Wellen plays the ball, Michaeli Alzuri on the pitch. Now with Mick Fowler off, Scott Wheeldon just gone off. Clint Newton having a bit of a run around, still makes some yards, there's Clint Newton. And that was round the chop, says the stand. Not sure, couldn't see it. Jake Webster takes a quick one. It's the fifth tackle. And that's a penalty, messing around at the play of the ball. Silly play from Catalans, because it's a Rovers' fifth tackle. No need to do that, and that's a cardinal sin, giving away a penalty on the last tackle. Rovers now looking to see what to do. Did a kick for touch or just take the tap? Take the tap. Michaeli Alzuri takes that ball in, drives away, makes it to the 22-metre line. Ben Fisher looking what's on, gives it to Scott Morrell, who in turn gives it to Jake Webster, who drives it in, gets inside that red zone. Rovers here just looking to try and get some advantage here. Ben Fisher gives the ball to Dobson. Good little bits of play here from Hawkinson Rovers. Ben Galea takes the tackle. Ben Fisher gives the ball to Paul Cook, who dummies. Oh, and I thought Cook was going to be through. He dummied it. Oh, the Fox has been fed, but the Fox couldn't score that time. Big chant going out these days is feed the Fox and he will score, but on that occasion he was caught right on the touchline and pushed into touch. But it's good play from Rovers. They're trying to get this ball out wide, trying to play around the fringes, trying to make the Catalans go wide, where they're a little bit softer than up the middle. Has to be said, if you try and take this Catalan side on up the middle, you're going to come to grief. Rovers doing the right thing, trying to get it out and fast to the fringes, to the wings. Just on that occasion, a bit unfortunate. Peter Fox couldn't quite take it and was taken into touch. Game now just starting to settle down. Catalan's having found the feet a little bit here, and Rovers are going to have to be very aware. Make sure to keep this 12-point cushion, and that's a knock-on, surely. Yeah, Ian Smith says, yeah, Catalans are getting in each other's way, and you've got to say Catalans have been a little bit their own worst enemy to a certain extent. A couple of silly mistakes, penalties given on the 5th tackle, silly passes at the wrong end of the field are giving Rovers chance and opportunity here, and where Rovers are playing and have been playing, give Rovers the opportunities and they will score. Cook then gives the ball on to Jake Webster, drives it in, takes it to the 25-metre line. Briscoe then to the dummy half position, gives the ball on to Clint Newton. Ooh, and that's a big challenge there from Catalans. Clint Newton dusts himself off, plays the ball. Ben Fisher gives the ball to Dobson, who dummies it one way, gives it to Briscoe, gives it out wide to Peter Fox, who does really well to take it, tries to scurry away. Peter Fox still trying to get away from Catalan's defence. I'm not going to knock Briscoe for that attempt. He was trying to do a bit of a Paul Cook, send Fox away, but it was just a little bit too high. Fox did well to take that ball in the end. Rovers, though, having lost a little bit of ground, but Jason Netherton drives the ball in, and it's a quick play of the ball. Dobson now tries to kick it through. Oh, and Fox nearly got on the end of it. Good defending from Catalans in the end. Clint Greenshields tries to bring that ball away. Does so, manages to get a couple of yards, but Rovers moving up quickly here. Jason Netherton with a great challenge there from the marker position. Catalans struggling to get out their own 20-metre line. Some good tackling here from Hull Kr V Rovers. They've got to keep the pressure on. Remy Casti now trying to find a way through. Gets past Michele Alzui, but not Jason Netherton or Paul Cook. Or for that matter, Scott Morrell. And he's felt that challenge from Scott Morrell and Paul Cook and Jason Netherton. It's another big kick. But Colburn's right underneath it, takes it well, brings it back quickly, gets it to the halfway line. What a great run back by Liam Colburn, and the Catalans' chase wasn't all that good. Briscoe trying to get through, but unfortunately Michele Alzui hadn't got back into the Rovers line quick enough, and that was a silly penalty from Macca. An obstruction there against him. Could see where Briscoe was going and he got in the way, and I've got to say, in Smith, you got that one right, because if you hadn't called it, I think I might have done. Silly play there by Michele Alzui. So a great attacking chance gone begging there for Rovers. After a great defensive set, they've got territorial position and they're just giving it away. But we're not going to knock them too much because they've been playing really, really well. For the most part, the chances that they've created, they've taken. Some good play, which on another day, they might have had a couple more, but Catalan's trying to look a bit more enterprising. Clint Greenshields are buried in a two-man challenge there by Ben Gallier and Paul Cook. I think that was Jamil Fakir there, running the ball in. Met strongly by the Rovers challenge. Shane Perry trying to give the ball, does so to Casey McGuire, and there's gaps there, but the ball's gone way backwards, luckily for Rovers, and that's a knock-on as well. Catalan's been on worst enemies to a certain extent, as I've said, and now sort of passes going astray and being knocked on in the attacking half. Don't have many attacking chances. They've had probably one and scored from it, and to be quite honest with you, they should have scored again. They had the overlap. It would have been a better pass. I dare say Vincent Duport would have been away, but it went behind him, and then in his efforts to pick the ball up, he knocked on. Rovers now just taking a few steadies, I think. Big challenge there from Casey McGuire and Oliver Lima. Clint Newton now. Rovers trying to spin this ball out to the fringes. obviously done their own work. Thought, well, if we get to the fringes, get to the wings, play the ball quickly, we'll make some yardage, and they have done so far. Scott Morrell with a little steadier there, takes the ball in. Remy Castille, marker. Jerome Guisset taking down Michele Alzui, just getting over the halfway line, and it's the 5th tackle here against Rovers. Michael Dobson with a spinning kick. You can see how the wind's held that one up, but Peter Fox just absolutely buried him there. What a great challenge from Peter Fox, and he's after more, is Peter Fox. What a great challenge from Peter Fox. That ball just hung in the air, started spinning backwards. Shane Perry thinking there was a gap there, but Scott Morrell and Michele Alzui says, no, there wasn't. Come here, son, we'll have you. Marker's not square for Rovers. Silly penalty. Giving Catalans a chance. This strong wind blowing that penalty, getting it further down than what he might have done. Catalans with the tap now on the 25 metre line. 25 metres out from this Rovers try line. Jamil Fakir takes that ball in, gets inside the Rovers red zone. Casey Maguire then gives the ball to Jerome Guisset, back on the pitch again. Takes it just onto that 10 metre line. Casey Maguire getting a dummy half. Goes for a little scoot himself. And it's some enterprising play. Clint Greenshields nearly losing the ball. Chrissy Wellen with a good challenge and good tackle on him. Finally goes to ground by under pressure. And East End calling for crossing, but I don't think it was. Catalans knocking on the Rovers try line door here. Fakir just takes a steadier in, just in front of the post. Takes 3 Rovers players to drag him down. 5th tackle. Catalans trying something, anything. And Colburn tried to tap it, missed it. Lucky Briscoe was following up, and it's a goal line dropout. Probably no more than Catalans deserve for the last 2-3 minutes play. That could have been horrendous there. Liam Colburn just missed the proper tap. Luckily Briscoe was there. So Michele Alzui coming off. And I think Jason Netherton there just coming off to the side. So I'm looking along, and I think Mr. Vella's back on the pitch, and I think Mr. Wielden is also back on the pitch. Jason Netherton shaking his head. I think he's been hitting a hard challenge somewhere on the line. Decent kick, drop out there. Taken by Shane Perry, who gives it to Jerome Guisset, who has a great run. Finally brought down by... Oh, it's David Mills. David Mills is on the pitch. I do apologise. Not Scott Wielden who's come back on, it's David Mills. David Mills with another tackle there. Straight to work. Oh, Rovers. Oh, great tackle. Try-saving tackle from Sean Briscoe. I honestly thought Jamil Fakir was going to score then. What a great tackle from Sean Briscoe. Oh, come on, Jakey, you've got to have a good go at that. Dobson says, go on, Jake, that's how you do it, that's how you scrag them down. Chris Bale there, just trying to get away from the attentions of Jake Webster and Michael Dobson. But Rovers caught offside. So Maguire gives it to Fakir, who since he's come on has been a thorn in the Rovers side. I honestly thought he was going to score there, but what a great try-saving tackle from Sean Briscoe. In the meantime, Catalans resuming that, knocking on that Rovers try line. Trying to give it out. Shane Perry gives the ball. Oh, and there's an overlap here, but Ian Smith saying there was a bit of a knock on there. Play the ball wasn't correct, and the pressure is relieved for Rovers. And there has been some pressure exerted on that Rovers line over the last sort of 5-6 minutes. Credit to Catalan, they've come back into this game. So after the first 20, I thought it could have ended up being a cricket score against them, but credit to them, they've come back. They started quitting out the silly mistakes they were doing, and they're have been putting Rovers under a bit of pressure. But the Rovers defence, up to the job, as it has been for majority of this season. Rovers now just bringing this ball away. Briscoe plays the ball, gives it to Fisher, who in turn gives it to David Mills, who goes on a good drive there, does David Mills. has a lot to prove, does David Mills. We'll get some opportunities with Nick Fozzard and Rhys Lovegrove being out of action. Great drive there from the captain, Mick Feller. And Dobson splits the fullback and the winger. Dimitri Pellew picks up the ball, tries to bring it back. Jake Webster goes and pushes Bale out of the way, tries to get at Pellew, but Pellew evades him temporarily. So the ball now on the Catalan Dragons 30. Rovers having to defend here and get through some defensive sets, and they're going to have to concentrate, but there's a half-time hooter, and it's been a very good, entertaining half of rugby here at Craven Park. A half-time scoreline then here. Hull Kingston Rovers 18, Catalan Dragons 6. And Rovers just having put Catalans to the sword in the first 20 minutes, just let them off the hook a little bit. Catalans, credit to them, came back into the match, started exerting a bit of pressure, but an entertaining half of rugby.